again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where you can come on in and get caught up on some of the latest news involving the Cleveland Browns. As you can see, we're still here with the Shedeurs. Forgot to mention that yesterday. But I would also like to thank everyone who has liked our previous episodes, who has subscribed to the channel, and to everyone who gets their comments in the viewer comment section. Coming up on today's show, well, the high from Monday didn't last long, as Martin Emerson Jr. is carted off the field on Tuesday. There are some free agent cornerbacks out there who are available, but once again, the money's going to be tricky. There's some good news, though, today, as one of the rookies continues to ball out at training camp. And in the viewer comments, why everyone should get used to the idea of Dillon Gabriel getting the first crack at QB1 after Joe Flacco. But first things first, let's set the stage for today. You'll see there, practice go early today. They'll be out there in the morning, 9 a.m. Is when Kevin Stefanski will talk. The players will be available after the 9:30 practice. And then tomorrow, another off day. And Friday, you'll see they'll go at 11:20. They'll have tight ends coach available. Jason Tarver available as well, the linebackers coach, which that'll be an interesting discussion with the recent events, the retirement and such. But it'll be interesting to see how Harold Fannin Jr. is progressing as well. And then you'll see Kevin Stefanski will talk and the 2 p.m. practice. But tomorrow morning, I guarantee the big talk will be about Martin Emerson Jr. We'll get to him in a moment, but let's talk about the quarterbacks first because, everybody's very interested after the big day Shedeur had. The big talk out of yesterday's practice was this 2-minute drill. Each of the rookies got the 2-minute drill. And, Gabriel did move the ball. They got it down to the 5, but the drive ended. He spiked the ball with 5 seconds to go and ended up getting picked off at the goal line. And then Shedeur followed, but his drive didn't do much. He didn't go but he was hurt by a penalty, and then he was pressured. And the drive ended on a 4th down sack. So not much to talk about there. But you know what's coming next? The quarterback tracker. And there it is. Joe Flacco, 8 for 11 on the day. So good day for Joe Flacco. And then Shedeur, 7 for 10. Again, another good day. And then Dillon Gabriel, 10 for 16. And there's the pick. So Gabriel getting a lot of opportunities, but I mean, he is the 3rd round pick. And I'm going to say everybody had a good day yesterday. Like, the offense did struggle a bit, but the defense is still ahead of the offense. So, it just, the whole mood, everything, the whole vibe changed. Again, as high as and great as it was on Monday, when Emerson went down, like, it just threw an incredibly large wet blanket on whatever else happened at practice yesterday. And so MJ Emerson, it's an Achilles, folks. So he's done. And so now you have to look at guys like, Cam Mitchell, Miles Harden, Tony Brown III. Someone's going to have to step up. I mean, those are your backups, your primary backups. And so, boy, we were really looking at that 1-2 punch, him and Denzel Ward. But it will not happen this year. But it's just, this is why we can't have good things, I guess, in Cleveland. I mean, coming off of all of the good things that happened on Monday, and to have this happen, with this defense. And remember, Myles Garrett, we just talked about this. Martin Emerson Jr. was the one guy Myles Garrett singled out and expected big things from him. And so it's a lost season. I mean, there's just nothing good to say about this. And then when there are free agent corners out there, but look at the money, folks. it's just going to be hard to get one of these guys in here and make the money work, when you look at the top corner. But the other thing is, look at a lot of these guys. 8-9 years in the league, they're over 30 years old. It's like you're not going to replace Martin Emerson Jr. with these guys, And then, there's some other guys that we might be able to afford because they're coming up for rookie contracts. But, I mean, they're not going to be Martin Emerson Jr. So it is just one of those things, man. Like, just what are you going to do? So hopefully Cam Mitchell, Tony Brown, he had his moments. Cam Mitchell is, he's regarded as the top backup. He plays both slot and the outside corner. So he can play both, or they can shop around and see, if there's somebody, that is let go from another team. They might find something. But I think you got to look inside first and hope Cam Mitchell or Tony Brown, somebody can step up. All right, now let's have some good news today. I'll tell you what, man. The Kent State kid, he's balling out, man. Like Luke Floria, he's from Menor High School, went to Kent State, and he is doing some great things. And look at what Chad O'Shea had to say about Floria. We're giving Floria his flowers today. Actually, Chad O'Shea is the wide receiver coach who said Luke has done a great job of learning the offense, of coming into camp in great condition. He says, we say your job here is to get open and catch the ball, and he has certainly put that on tape and has been displayed on the field so far. He's got a unique skill set to separate versus tight man coverage, particularly in slot alignment. So if you got your wide receiver coach talking about you like that, it's not so bad. And a lot of people here are rooting for him because he's a local guy. And he reminds me of Brian Brennan from back in the days. Like just that shifty little guy who just caught everything, man. And we can use that on this team for sure. Absolutely. Run after the catch kind of guys. But Brian Brennan he was like a vacuum, man. All you had to do was get it near him. And it was right into his hands. And so Luke Floria showing that so far in camp. He's been balling out, so that's great to see. It'll be fun to see him coming up in these joint practices, the ones that start next week with Carolina, and then, of course, the preseason games. But we had to have a little good news on what turned out to be just a very, very, very somber day when Martin Emerson Jr. Went down with that Achilles. Now, Luke Floria having a great camp. Now, you guys are always great in the viewer comments. And today we're going to start with 97 Buckeye Guy. And bear with me on this, folks. Because he says, he's talking about me. He says, you're glazing Sanders too much. I know you're riding him for your view numbers, but you're going to have nothing if and when Shedeur ends up riding a bench all season. Learn to love Gabriel because Baranski certainly does. Yes. Baranski, meaning Kevin Stefanski, and Andrew Berry, they do love Gabriel. They took him in the third round. I've talked to a number of people. Yes, this is a fact. But here's the thing. Jimmy Haslam said yesterday that Kevin knows that we have to see both quarterbacks this year. He is fully aware of the situation, Kevin is. And he also said that Kevin and Andrew Berry are not on the hot seat. He said. So my point, 97 Buckeye Guy, is, the search for a franchise quarterback here has gone on for so long. And to see, it's the accuracy, 97 Buckeye Guy. I get it. Like the rush, is not the same kind of rush you're going to see in a game. But look at the other things. Like it's all the other things that add up, And what I heard yesterday was Shedeur balled out. Monday was Shedeur balled out. And what I heard about Gabriel is they still have to move the pocket to find him throwing lanes. He's still having balls deflected at the line. So I get it. I know they love him. They took him in the third round. But I just don't see how this is going to last very long. And the big thing, Buckeye Guy, is this. I better not see him out there having every other ball knocked down, and this is another Baker Mayfield situation or another Deshaun Watson situation where they keep putting him out there and putting him out there and putting him out there. But who knows? Maybe Flacco finds the fountain of youth and never lets go of the job. there's still a lot in play here, but I love your takes, 97 Buckeye guy. I do. But just understand where I'm coming from, because that's where I'm coming from on this. But great take. I appreciate it. Please keep coming at me. I love it. Haywood Armstrong Jr. 898 says, I'm so sick of our franchise quarterback hunt. Me too, Haywood. This could be the end of that hunt. I can understand Stefanski being cautious, but it's time to find out. It's time for Shedeur to be put in with the ones. Go Browns. That time is coming. When Haslam gets up on the podium and says, we're going to see both quarterbacks this year, you're going to see both quarterbacks this year. So Shedeur will get his shot. Gabriel's going to get his shot. Shedeur's going to get his shot. So the other thing that Haslam said is there is no way Arch Manning is coming out next year. He knows the Manning family better than most people, and he says there is not a chance Arch Manning is coming out next year. So take that for what it's worth. Ken's Mom 01 says, Tua, the running back we picked up, Tua, may not be just a body. Man, I think he's just going to be a body. But she says, as a girl that is fluent in football, he may really be a great addition. He was more than a solid player in the UFL. There are a great number of missed opportunities in that league. I hope you're right, because we need it. We need somebody in that running back room. With the Judkins situation is so questionable. Ford is back on the field, but he's nursing that injury. But they're going to put Ford and Sampson probably in bubble wrap until we get to the regular season. But I hope it works out. I hope you're right. That's a great take. Thank you, Ken's Mom 01. And then just have to end on Barry Collins, our friend in Australia. He coached me up. He followed up. He says the announcer guy in Australia that I remind him of, his name is Kosh. Remember, I was a little nervous about how it might be like Chris Bosch, he said. And he's the long-term president of one of their AFL clubs, which is like the NFL here. But he was originally a financial guru who went on and he does a TV morning show. He says, the world is yours, and Shedeur's, hopefully. So you got Shedeur getting support from down under, down there in Australia, from Barry Collins. But Kosh is the name of the guy that I reminded him of. Okay, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks so much for joining us. We are almost to 7,000. We are that close to 7,000 subscribers, and I will be changing the fit once we get there. All right, thanks so much for joining us. Go Browns! We will see you next time.